Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As you know, we generated strong financial results in a very challenging environment driven by significant cost savings. In spite of the current environment, we also created scripted, non-scripted content for multiple broadcast, cablecast, and streaming partners. We're taking advantage of the strong engagement on our digital platforms in terms of WWE Network especially. We set WrestleMania week viewership records with nearly 1 billion video views across digital and social platforms. That's up 20% from last year. We successfully launched our free version of the WWE Network, which is designed to further engage fans with exclusive content and, of course, convert viewers to subscribers. And we preserve the value of the premium content. Versus last year, with the new free network, we achieved a 6% increase in WWE Network's paid subscribers through Q2. And of course, we are constantly strengthening our leadership team, and with the announcement of the hiring of Christina Salem as our CFO, we believe more than ever that we have the right team in place, and it may be not so much appropriate, but I'd like to thank Frank Riddick, who stepped in from the board, who is the interim CFO, who is doing an extraordinary job. Thank you, Frank, and I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, happy to, Vince. And, first I'd touch on the content piece that still we're obviously investing in content. I've had some really successful forays recently with things like Undertaker's Last Ride or Ruthless Aggression. You talk about the product roadmap. There are a few things that have happened recently with localization, as we've localized price, currency, and the UI in a handful of LATAM markets. And we're also moving forward on advertising. So we've developed that capability. We're still testing the user experience, considering the economic value, and essentially evaluating just our general perspective on rolling out further capabilities.
Can you give us some statistics around the success of the free tier launch of the WWE Network, and at what point do you think you'll be able to layer in that advertising component?
So, we've built the ad tech capability right now, and we're evaluating our philosophy around advertising. I would say the initial results on the free version are promising, and again, the strategy being just encouraging sampling of the content, and those KPIs that we're looking at are active users and how we convert those active users to the paid service. No specific metrics to share right now. I think we'll have more as we have more history with the free version. But again, the initial results are very encouraging. There are a few things going on. I'm not going to touch on anything specific on the free version, but obviously launching that is a contributor. Then I just think general smart promotion across our platforms. We're doing new things across the digital and social ecosystem, as well as with our TV partners. You would have been able to sample content on ESPN or FS1 driving back to the network. We talked about some of the compelling content we've had, everything from Undertaker's Last Ride, and we're an attraction business. I think we've had some really fantastic cinematic match attractions in our recent pay-per-views. And then the last piece would be there's just been some macro industry factors. There's just a general growth in digital viewing and some that's accelerated post-COVID.
Thank you. Good afternoon. A couple of quick ones. I believe this was the first quarter when the Indian contract switched to the new pricing. So can you please confirm that and tell us if the pricing increase or change in pricing in India contributed to year-on-year change in core content revenue? And then I have one about buyback. Thank you.
So, yes, we are under the new contract in this quarter. We don't disclose the specifics, but it did not have an effect on the year-to-year, the period-to-period change in content revenue. So on the social media, the impact on viewership was affected by the Sony deal that we mentioned, where we're geo-blocking certain content, and those numbers are no longer showing up, particularly user-generated views.
As far as ratings are concerned, again, more than any other sport, surely our audience is at the part of the program. It's audience interaction that always is the plus. anytime you have an audience. And again, it goes all the way back to the origination of this genre in terms of yay and boo. So the audience is integral to our success and our television ratings. Again, because of the interaction or lack thereof. Notwithstanding that, I think that we can have more compelling characters, better storylines, new characters coming into where we are right now, and more of content that's not necessarily in the ring, but yet one that focuses on our personalities and their stories outside of the ring.
Why do you think AEW and NXT have bounced back better from the initial COVID shock than RAW and SmackDown? And then, based on your commentary last quarter, it seemed you had a strategy for fixing RAW that indicated patience in, quote, getting over some newer talent. Did you abandon that plan in firing Heyman? And more broadly, why did you fire Heyman? And lastly, given Paul's recent relative success with NXT, do you think he could be of help on Raw and or SmackDown in an elevated role? Thank you.
I think so. Those are new. It's something that's new and what have you. And it's up to us to make Raw and SmackDown feel more useful. That is where we're going. And I just, as far as continuing on, I said what was new and building characters. You always have to build characters constantly. And it seems to me that, as far as Paul Levesque helping out on Raw and SmackDown, that happens. It's all hands on deck in terms of all that we do. As far as Paul Heyman is concerned, he did, I thought, a very, very good job in terms of creativity.
I was just wondering if you could speak a little bit to periods in the past when you've seen some rating softness and how long it took to rebuild viewership. I think right now there's maybe a concern that some of those viewers have found new streaming services because we've seen such strong sub growth in that part of the market. And would just love to hear what you think the timing is to recapture that audience. Is this something that gets done in months or does it take years?
No, it just takes months. I mean, again, the key here is to be in front of an audience. And that's the main thing. So if you get in front of an audience, they're like the third person in the ring, so to speak. And, right away you get action, reaction. You're able to shoot, the audience. And we shoot the audience a lot more than any sport because they're such an integral part to what we do. So I would like to think it's months away.